Day, December 30th, 2025. We've got less than 48 hours left in this era, and today it's Tag Team Tuesday. My favorite guest, Krista Marie Miller, is here, channeling Mary Magdalene and more. We'll be talking to her. We'll be taking your questions. We also be going down a little bit of a couple of rabbit holes. All that and more today on SiriusJoy Live. See you inside. SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
Hi, how's it going, everyone? Welcome now to SiriusJoy Alive. I'm Sensei Christopher Wotecki. Nice to be here. It's probably last time we'll do this little winter setting here because we're moving into a new year. And you guys, it's not just a new year, it's a new era. We got so much to talk about today. I've got my friend Krista Marie Miller here. She's a psychic medium, channels Mary Magdalene and more. We'll talk about what she does and also showing you some of her new materials that she has coming out. Really cool. And this would be a perfect time to say, if you would like a question answered by Krista Marie and myself, we're going to tag team this one. I'll do astrology. She will do heaven, basically, including dead loved ones, if you don't know. Then buy a question right now. Go ahead and buy a reading. We got 3 kinds of readings for you today. We got a one question and follow-up, or come on camera with us for 15 minutes and chat with us. That's a memory of a lifetime, really. And we're going to get busy, folks. We are kind of flying underneath the radar in these first couple of weeks as we go live, basically practicing. So we're grateful for you being here. But we start promoting the show really after this week. So it's going to be really intense. And I think we're going to sell out pretty quickly because I know from my Rolodex alone, just emailing my clients, they'll all hop on it. I hope you do too. How you been? How you feeling? Today's a Net 9 day. Net 9 means that we are taking action and we're ready to move forward in our life. And boy, I felt that. In fact, I felt a lot of frustration today. A lot of frustration because I wasn't moving fast enough. It's like that feeling of being in traffic. Can't go faster. So that's kind of definitely a Net 9 day. You know, the step numbers are just incredibly accurate. I think I've been blessed to channel like the most accurate system I think there is in astrology. Certainly the first upgrade in astrology for 2,000 years since Mesopotamia. And if you learn them, you're going to live in so much greater peace because quite simply, there is a pattern to consciousness. It just goes down this rotation over and over again. It's not rocket science. It's 0 through 11, really. And then 0 through 29, really. And after that, it just repeats and starts over. It's incredible how clear it is. And if you don't know, SiriusJoy.com will help you stay on track if you're interested. That's what we do in our service every day. That's what this whole show is paid by. This whole show, everything you see on SiriusJoy, this is all from the app that we've created that kind of helps you be your guide every moment in your life and let you know what step you're on. Step 9 is the step where we take action. So I would say today, it's not too late. If you haven't made that phone call to the doctor or told that person that important information or maybe done that last minute errand, we can be strong. You can stream us on your phone, and still get it done because you're going to feel really good if you get something accomplished today. And you just need one thing accomplished. You don't need everything accomplished, right? Just one thing that matters to you. That's what it's about. Because Capricorn's about taking control and feeling in control. And we all want to feel in control. Most of the time when we fight and we have conflict, it's because we're fighting over control. And the thing is you only need one control for your entire life. And that is really control of your inner self, like being there for yourself, being an authority for yourself. When you're an authority for yourself, everything works out perfectly. It's crazy, but you have to try it. Now, everything doesn't work out for me because I'm not always an authority. Sometimes I turn into a little kid. Sometimes I turn into a hurt person. So that's what we have to do is heal ourselves and become better friends with ourselves and able to have better control. But like a performer who ice skates or an athlete who does a big broad jump in the Olympics, I mean, it's all about mastering that relationship to yourself. That's what spirituality really is. It's right here, right now. And step 9 means it's time to move forward. So that said, let me just look and see what we have today. Here we go. Yes, there's the tickets. So if you guys haven't been to SiriusJoy Live, this is going to get better and better every day. But we have 3 versions of tickets here. You can see here on the page. And we love your feedback. But we also love you to sign up and register because we actually give away 2 readings at the top of every show. And we have 2 readings to give away today. So I'm going to give those readings away. And if you did get your name mentioned today, then you might go ahead and choose a reading and buy one. You're supporting SiriusJoy and you're supporting Krista Marie as well. So it's a great day. Let me just read off the winners real quick. You can feel the tension kind of just in the energy wise. Now they're interesting names because they're usernames. The first winner is Julianne308. So Julianne308 and D Alex. Sorry, you know how it's like a username. D Alex 246. Those are our first 2 winners today. Our winners today. We do have a backup winner today, and it is Angela Russell is our backup winner. So Angela, if you don't hear from us and that these 2 have won or claim your prize, I would just reach out and chat and we'll find you and get connected to you. And check your email, y'all, because we might email you as well. All right, so interesting stuff. It's interesting, I would say, where the world is. We're going to talk about that today. I want to ask Krista some questions about what she thinks. Her and I, when we get together, we just talk about ourselves. We don't talk about the world. So everything you hear today will be authentic and new. But the world's in a very interesting moment. I have to say, it's important that you get your shift together between now and March is your deadline, but you're going to see the intensity rise as far as the rhetoric and the press and things like that, starting as early as second week in January, it looks like. But it won't really affect our daily lives, I think, until April. But the world is ready to change. It's been stuck in a certain position, a certain way of life for, well, more than 2,000 years. And we're talking about a 2,000 plus year era that's starting to change. Now, technically, the age of Aquarius isn't for like another 90 years or so, but it's in this life right here that it's determined. It's in this moment we're about to live that it's determined. So, you might have something spring up like the Renaissance, but you don't realize it was something 100 years before that made that Renaissance possible. And that's what our generation is here to do. We're here to make it possible. We're here to make it happen. And we're going to do it. I can feel it in my heart. So I think it's time to, we did a reading push. Excellent. So let's take a look at Krista Marie. I don't know if you're familiar. If you want a reading today, again, with me and Krista both, it's a tag team reading. Just go on down to SiriusJoy.shop and be sure to put in your question. Be as clear as you can, and we will do an amazing job for you. But I want to talk about my guest today, Krista Marie, for a second. Move on to that. Krista, first of all, came as a surprise. She, I'll let her tell you the story, but her friends were telling her to say hi to me for a long time. But the funny thing is our guides are putting us together. Our guides were putting us together. And finally, we did meet, and it was like someone I've known my whole life, many lifetimes. It's funny how you can become a certain age. I'm past Chiron return, I'll tell you that. And it's like I'm still meeting amazing friends for the first time. It's cool. And she's one of those friends because we speak fluent woo together. But she has done some amazing work herself. Her ambition is off the chart. I have to say, the only one I know who is as ambitious as I am is her, and probably more, and with more energy and 2 kids. I have 1 child. She has 2. So she's a full-time person, all ways and shapes. But she actually came to our Unite the Light, where she was doing a special panel channeling Mary Magdalene. And on this panel, we had 3 channels all speaking at the same time. We're going to show you a couple clips of her work, I think, first with the introduction.
Mary Magdalene, so nice for you to join us today.
Greetings, dear ones.
It seems in modern culture, let's just get right to the dirt. In modern culture, your reputation and history on Earth and your contribution to the Christ consciousness has been smeared, really. Can you once and for all settle the rumor that you were, quote, just a whore and not significant in Jesus' life?
Oh, my dear one, you had to go there. Okay. No, I was not what you would call a whore. I was not a lady of the night. Did I partake in sacred sexuality? Absolutely. I mean, this is part of the human condition, is to experience our sexual lives. But the reason why that this was put upon me, even when I was alive, was that I utilized oils. I utilized essential essences that I applied to humans and to myself, and the sacred sex workers at the time as well did the same thing, because they knew how to anoint the body in order to waken up the frequency within the human cells. So this is an ancient technique of using these substances that are available to us, and when you apply them, they enlighten and bring about more information than not using them. So this is why this label got put upon me, because it was part of the ritualistic nature of the energy that I worked with. Now, of course, the dogmatic religions that are available to you now wanted to put me into a box, as you would say.
Yeah, dogmatic religion. She means Catholicism. But I look at that. It's the first time I've seen that clip. We haven't released this video yet just because of the nature of the year and what it's been. That's Unite the Light, our annual event that we had this year in Nashville, Tennessee. And boy, I opened that pretty intensely, just looking at myself. But yeah, I'm very curious. I mean, that's been one of my things as far as the history of Mary Magdalene and everything else. The first thing you hear is this whore reputation. And as she said, the only way it can even happen to be called that way is because she was using perfume, essential oils, basically as a perfume, but also essential oils, I think, as literally the power of them to ignite, like she said, energies and things that from our subconscious. So very, very interesting, because I never heard that before. So I mean, interesting to watch a channel, isn't it? To see a meeting. When you see her today, you'll see obviously a different character. And sometimes the characters come across very strong, like Mary Magdalene does. But I got to tell you, having worked with Krista for a while, the logic of Mary and Magdalene is different than the logic of Krista. It's very interesting. You'll hear it today, just the way she sets things up, and Mary explained that. I think we have another clip. Can we take another look at the next clip?
Where do you see us now? You mentioned sovereignty. It seems to be a big part of your message to Krista. What are you here to say to us in this moment, being an expert of Earth?
My dear ones, we are here to find our passion, to find our soul purpose. It is innate within you that you already know, but it is also encoded in the time of your birth. There was no accident at the time of your birth. Now, finding that soul purpose is part of your journey. I am working with Krista on creating what we are calling the Sovereign Essence Map in order to help you do that. But it takes many different modalities. You cannot use just one. You have to use so many. And this is why we love working with Christopher, because of the step system is definitely one modality. Once you find that soul purpose, we are moving from individual consciousness into more of collective consciousness. And you have felt that shift. You have felt that shift within yourself. There are times when you get the chills or the goosebumps, or you telepathically know who's going to be calling on the phone. This is because we are moving into that collective consciousness. We are moving into understanding who we are. But I describe it as a beehive. I worked a lot with the bees. The bees are holding the love frequency of the planet. This is why it's so important that we hold on to them. This is why my bloodline that was in France used the symbol of the bee in order to remind human consciousness that this is where we're going. Now,
That's interesting too. I thought, from the perspective of telepathy, hearing about your phone calls, becoming more psychic. I knew we were supposed to become more psychic. I knew we were supposed to become more telepathic, but I didn't realize because we're becoming one, that we're going back to the one. That was fascinating to me. Really changed my perspective entirely. And then the bees, interestingly enough, because the bees have been under attack. We have a problem with bees. They're dying like crazy. It's almost like Monsanto is after them. Just saying. And because they're dying like crazy since we started using those types of products and the different fertilizers, they're necessary to pollinate everything on the earth. So no food is made without the bees. And Mary Magdalene talks about how it's really, they represent love consciousness. They hold love consciousness, how love just swirls around love, and they all work together as a family, and they make all this food, more food than they need. That's beautiful. I hadn't thought about that way with one stinger. And, that's ironic. It's like if you sting someone, you die if you're a bee. Maybe we should have put that in as humans too. Would have saved a lot of problems, right? But let's take a look at the final clip we have with Mary Magdalene and Krista Marie.
Can you tell us then what your relationship is to Yeshua on a spiritual level? Are you twin flames, as some have suggested? Are you partners in a particular mission?
Oh, the twin flame concept. My dear ones, your soul is whole and complete as it is. It is not going to be split or separated. I think what people are searching for is that complementary. So what Yeshua was, is I would more consider it a mirror soul. We reflected each other. We reflected, and he actually held the feminine energy, and I held the masculine energy. And when we were in balance together, the balancing the masculine and the feminine within each of us, we were able to bring 4 aspects of ourselves together in order to strengthen our light bodies. For this is what we are here to do as a human consciousness, is to strengthen the soul body. So twin flames, when we get into that is, this is a human aspect, a human yearning for that soulmate. Even your soulmate does not come in. Very, very rarely, about 0.003% of the time does a soulmate ever come in with you, because if they actually did, you would be so focused on each other that you would not be focused on your path and your energy. So twin flames, this is a whole lesson, but we can actually have up to 7 twin flames in our life. And God help you if they are romantic. If they are romantic, it will be very traumatic and quite often lead into an abusive relationship, because one will not, there's what they call, these cute little terms that you give, the runners and the chasers, when actuality it is sine waves and stability waves.
Sine waves and stability waves. That's fascinating to me too. I think that's a great moment to think about as we introduce today our guest, Krista Mary Miller. Please come on, Krista. Hi.
Hello.
How are you today? How are you feeling?
Okay. It's really uncomfortable watching myself do that.
I see that in you. Yeah, I see that. I see it in your face right now. I understand. You get used to it though. I mean, I think it tells me you haven't watched enough, actually. If you watch a ton of yourself, then you just start to get sick of it. It just wears off. So don't worry about it. But I understand it. So weird because, we're all on TV. Whenever we're on TV, but everyone's on TV now. They have an iPhone and they all have smartphones. So everyone's on camera all the time. Everyone's like us. You know that what it feels like on the inside is not what it looks like on the outside.
That's true.
It just never works that way. So great work, by the way. That's the first time I saw any of the Unite the Light footage. Have you seen it since?
No, I haven't either. It's fascinating.
It is. It's so interesting to see her personality coming out so strongly in you. And she was very comfortable in you in that moment, it seemed like. I've seen her a little more riled up and intense before. Because she changes. She's alive. I mean, right? So tell us, real quickly, give people a little bit of, a little backstory. I mean, she visited you when you were as young as 7. Is that correct?
7.
I can't remember. Wow.
Yeah.
And so that was just a woman coming to you. You weren't a Bible studier at that age, were you?
No. I was not born and raised religious at all. Yeah, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, but I don't remember her at all from childhood. And at that point, my sister kind of was my mother figure in my life, and she had recently moved out because she was 11 years older than me. And I
Same.
was kind of like, who's my mom? Who's gonna be my, who's gonna, like I felt that void almost instantly. And
Mm.
that's when Magdalene came in. I was already communicating with spirit. I was already talking with Yeshua and my main spirit guide Eloise. And
Mm.
when Magdalene came in, she came in so uniquely, so differently than the two male spirits I had been talking to. She came in and she was first she came in through scent, which now I fully understand why, because of the oils and the essences.
Mm.
She came in with a very distinct scent, and then she also came in. I'm very clairvoyant, which means I see. But she came in clairaudiently for me, and it was like she was right here, and she wasn't a voice in my head. I heard her right here, and she
Wow.
said, "I will be your maternal figure. I'm here to teach you your deeper metaphysical teachings."
Hmm.
And I didn't know what metaphysical meant at that time. I remember because I wrote it down in my journal, and I horribly misspelled it. But yeah, she came to me, and the first time she came in walking hand in hand with Yeshua in a very unique pattern, holding hands. That I have
Hmm.
learned now that it's an Egyptian ritual hand holding ceremony.
Really?
And it was just this bond that they had together. I just instantly knew that they had this special chemistry together. And Alma over here is commenting that they were not married. And I want to address that because
Great. I was going to ask you that next.
yeah, it's I Magdalene is she's very esoteric. If you ever want to know more about Magdalene, I highly recommend Magdalene's Gospel. I use the translation by Jean-Yves Leloup. But the instant you start reading Magdalene's Gospel, it starts with what is matter and why does it exist? It's like, we're not going elementary here. We're going like quantum physics automatically. And so the relationship I found with Magdalene and Yeshua was not so much of this romantic, are they married? Did they have children? All these things. It was always about, how do we help humanity? How do we bring love into this world? And I think it's a person's individual decision to decide for themselves. Were they married? Were they not? Did they have children? Did they not? Did he die on the cross? Did he not? It's your own decision. And I don't think any of those decisions, well, personally, the cross thing, that's a whole other story. But if they were married or if they had children, I don't think it takes away from the teachings. So for me, I don't get too wrapped up in that. Do I
Mm.
believe they were married? I believe they had a spiritual union. I don't think, in a sense, I do believe they were married. And I do believe they had children. But I'm not going to go around and teach on that because that's
It's
not
not your
what I
it's not your work. Yeah, it's not your work.
know.
But it's interesting how first of all, it's women. Men are not sitting around talking about whether they're married. It's the women, and women are like that with all marriages and all people. And Yeshua's like the hottest guy in the century, so like there's a little bit of jealousy there. They don't want anyone, but I think there's a lot of women who'd rather be that, and that's the way to defend it, which is interesting. And the idea that he was a virgin is just like, come on, But at the end of the day, she talks about how she was married to John the Baptist, and how he was abusive, and that's really a compelling story, and how she left him, and how their families really brought her and Yeshua together, because it was a good marital connection. So they're kind of an arranged marriage, really, by
Right.
families, and then they saw immediately there's a spiritual mission there together,
Yes.
And one thing we don't have this clip, but Mary talked about how she was more of the masculine, and Yeshua was more of the feminine, actually.
Yeah.
Which makes total sense, because that's why he was so approachable. Why men even loved him, because he had that feminine Venus kind of openness, I think.
I wish everyone could experience what I witnessed with them, because to see a man hold the feminine, the female to hold the masculine at such a young age. I mean, that's what I grew up with. I understood the whole duality within a person's body. I mean, my spirit guide Eloise is like a flaming, beautiful, gorgeous man with long golden hair, wears platform heels, is in drag, completely balanced of this masculine and feminine. So like that's what I grew up with. And that's when Magdalene and Yeshua came together, it was almost like there were four of them. So like she was born feminine, or sure, her main thing was feminine, but she held the masculine. And then the same with Yeshua. He was born more in the masculine, but he held the feminine. And when they came together, there was four aspects. And that was part of what they would call the hieros gamos, or the sacred marriage. Is holding those
Interesting.
energies.
So sacred marriage then has to do with the fact of being in touch with your other gender identity within you at the same time, kind of in the sense of,
It's about
I mean,
balancing.
okay, gotcha. Like, I mean,
A
I think a
balancing
modern
thing.
man has learned how to soften,
Yeah,
and I do
I
think a
agree.
modern woman has learned how to be tough. I mean, in those male sense, the women, putting on the suits and climbing up the corporate ladder and trailblazing in the '80s, really for all
Mhm.
women now. Really, Hillary Clinton really is a good like example of that generation that did that. But even for
Yeah.
male, like we're sensitive now. We change diapers. It's crazy. Like, no, I mean, but so it's almost like a quantum thing when you look at it from an energetic metaphysical point, right? So it's like you're not just male female connecting, just which is very yin yang. It's actually
Mhm.
male to female, like female to that subtlety of each. It's more complex. Oh, that's fascinating. So where are you? She's been on a mission forever. It seems like her particular reputation got damaged. I mean, deliberately by the church. I think any woman would have biased. I don't think it was her personally to her. I think that's the way they treated women, and unfortunately she
Mhm.
fell into that. It amazes me how people still will bring that up as if they go to church every week when they don't, and people who don't go to church, who don't really study the Bible, and yet that's the first thing they'll say if I bring her up. It's interesting how programmed they were, people have been.
And the Catholic Church denounced that she wasn't a whore. And they, they're like, no, that we're sorry, our bad. We were wrong. And so they admitted to creating that story around her. And yet
Wow.
that happened. Oh, I think it was in 1959. Don't quote me. I don't have my notes, but see my double Virgo coming out.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but there's, and it's still, that was in the early 60s. And here we are 40, 60 years later, is like, we're still saying this. We're still saying she was a whore. And it's like, it's fascinating how the collective consciousness gets brainwashed into believing something.
Oh
And it
yeah,
just
and sticking with
continues.
it. Yeah, and it becomes part of being cool and being with it. And I know I love Mary Magdalene. I love Yeshua too. And you know, that's another thing. You tell people you talk to Jesus and like, oh, you're suddenly classified real quickly into a group. His name's Yeshua, actually, right? But
Mhm.
with Yeshua, you said you had already been speaking to him when Mary Magdalene came. How did you come to know Yeshua?
Oh boy. So Yeshua came to me, let me see here. Gotta learn how to tell my stories quicker. So I was in a toy store, had a traumatic experience in a toy store with an earthbound
Mm.
ghost. Um, Fast forward, my male spirit guide, Eloise. Do I have my son made an amazing photo of Eloise. I thought I had it right over here, but he looks like Gene Wilder with this long golden curly hair. He's gorgeous, and he has this Bristol Cockney accent. And he came to me and he's like, Krista. And I was like, after that experience at the toy store, I was like, no, 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 no. And so like I quickly turned and wanted to go away. And he's like, no, wait. And he started singing the song Blackbird by the Beatles, which is my favorite song.
Hmm.
And I was like, wait a second. First, he knows my name. And now he's singing my favorite song. So I turned around and I looked at him and he's like, you're going to heal thousands, if not millions of people. Do you want to do that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, come here. We got to talk. And so Eloise got me comfortable talking with spirit. And then the next couple, it's always happened like within 3 days. It's fascinating
Mm.
how with Magdalene and Yeshua, things happen. There's these containers of 3 days. And
Mm-hmm.
so about 3 days later, I was in my treehouse again in a meditative flow state when this Merkaba, I called it Merkaba on steroids. This Merkaba came in, and a Merkaba, if you don't know, is like two pyramids, one upside and one inverted. But this one had like atoms swirling around it, and it was
Mm.
golden, this beautiful golden energy. And it came down, and then it transformed into, hands down, one of the most gorgeous men I've ever seen, besides my
Hmm.
husband, of course. But and he said, he pronounced. I actually went to go stand up to greet him, and he's like, no, no, no. He's like, I come to you. He's like, we are equal. And so like he kneeled down to me, and so we were eye to eye, and he's like, we are equal, we are one. And he's like, my name is Yeshua, and this is like, I'm here to teach you protection. And that was the first thing he taught me how to do, was protect myself, so that encounter with the earthbound spirit never occurred again. And
Mm.
I've had some pretty heavy dark encounters with beings. But ever since then, it was like, I know how to protect myself with the golden light of the Christ consciousness and the white light of the Holy Spirit. And that was one of the first teachings Yeshua taught me. And so super
Mm.
grateful. And I was with
Amazing.
Yeshua for about a couple months before Magdalene came.
Did you know it was what everyone calls Jesus, or no? He's just
No.
like a nice man that looked good.
Yeah, no, he was just like a spirit, like Eloise. Like it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Like we were
yeah,
quote imaginary friends, right? Yeah,
exactly.
totally. Huh? Interesting. Yeah, I won't go into my story right now, but I'll just say it is pretty compelling. I'll just say there's a knowing that it's him, and you don't know why you know, but you know.
Yeah.
It's just like the part of your body that knows something suddenly is taken over and says you know it, and it's like okay, it's very confusing because you're like, well, I have no evidence except this moment, so you can't analyze it, you just have that feeling of knowing. Really great stuff. Well, that's interesting, and it must be interesting to be who you are. In the sense of reading when you want to. Is it something that's on all the time, or is it something that you tune in out of? How do your powers work?
Yes and no. Like I can turn it on at it doesn't take me long. Like if you see me channel on stage, I just got to take a deep breath and release and surrender. That's the big thing, is like I just got to surrender and let go. And it's like I
Mhm.
slip on out, but I've been doing this since I was really little. And I've been channeling publicly now for 7 years. And
Mm.
so I've worked on it so continuously, that you can see like the difference. Like I can have my eyes open. Magdalene can move my whole body. I can get up and walk. She's even done lectures with like paper that flips, and she was very insistent on that, with markers and pictures and drawings. Like she has full capacity of my body. And that took a lot of work and a lot of surrender. The first year I think I was channeling her, her accent was so thick that my Virgo brain was like, you need to soften your, like, I'm not going to do this if you don't change your accent. Like I'm not, because I'm like, I was so uncomfortable with some other voice coming out of me. Um,
Mm. She's a
and
Virgo. I mean, a Virgo.
hmm,
A Virgo letting someone take over and speak for you. Oh my God.
it takes a lot of trust and surrender. A
Do you
lot, a
judge,
lot.
like, when you hear her say, like, words coming down or whatever, do you, like, judge it and then have to stop and then not judge it? Like, "Oh, no, that's her
Um,
words, I'll let her go." Do you have that kind of thing where you just let it go?
Yeah. So I have it set up where I get certain signals from spirit when they want to talk. Like right now, if you just saw me, it's right here. This is angels. Angels are coming in right now for somebody that's in. But Magdalene will, it's almost like a feather underneath my nose. And
Mm.
I'll
Tickly.
itch my nose when she wants to come in. Yeah, it's so itchy and yeah, tickly.
Mm.
Yeshua will kind of boop my nose when I'm correct, or he'll kind of do the top of my head. But I have these physical somatic experiences with
Mm.
spirit. And then
Mm.
I decide, I ask questions. Why do you want to come in? I hear you. I feel you. Why do you want to come in? And then they'll tell me, or I'll get an essence. And I'm like, yeah, not right now. Or I'll be like, okay, let's go. And so I have complete sovereign choice. And it literally is just a simple of releasing and letting go and allowing the messages to come in and
Mhm.
trusting it. Trust, 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 and then honoring the connection. And there's a lot that happens within my body. Some people even say my eye color changes when I
Mhm.
channel,
Mm.
that it turns like this violet purpley color. So a lot of experiences happen. But
Your energy
when
definitely
she
changes,
talks,
like yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
when she's talking, like all she's constantly all throughout the day, especially since I've been working so heavily on my own work. She'll be in my ear, and she's very very different than me, so different. And there's just this unique frequency to her that you just know, like, oh, better listen. And she'll be very blunt of like, I need to say this now, or when you have the time, she'll be like that. Because I have a morning and evening meditation where I meet with my spirit team, and it's very strict. And I've done it ever since I was little, little. But every once in a while, she's like, we need a message.
She's serious. She feels like an older, wise Jewish woman. Actually, she reminds me of Jewish women that I've met who have this like authority and this like intelligence. I don't describe it. It's like a Jewish women just have a certain way they carry themselves. That I've met, anyways. The women I've met, and they know what they know and they know it. There's no I don't know how to describe it, but there's this you never question them and you feel like that would be incorrect. It'll be impolite and they'll be rude. Like I don't know. It's an aura that comes off there. Very interesting. Well, let's take a little break and when we come back, I want to hear about your new method you have with charts.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. If there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products, a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of Sichi Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. Sichi makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual Sichi skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
And we're back with Christopher Miller, who is a psychic and a channel and a good friend of mine. And thank you. She's the reason I'm out here in Palm Springs, actually. One of the big reasons. We had a good time. We looked at houses, and she was like telling me the background of every house, and so was Scott. It was a fun moment there. I wish I had a camera. But we have a similar what's the word? I guess desire or ambition, which is to see like the commonality of all things. Like I've always been interested in translating the colors into the numbers, into the chakras. There's like, it's really energy just expresses itself. God is and expresses itself in every direction and every form. And it seems like you're similar in your interests. And one of the things you've been looking at is like this super modality kind of perspective where you want to like look at a person from all modalities at the same time or many modalities at the same time, much like Mary just described, and you just talked about. And your latest invention here is a poke at that, right? Tell us more. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness. I'm learning. If there are any wordsmiths out there that want to help me with how to describe this, please reach out to me because it is this undertaking that I have, and this is 30 plus years of my life that I've been doing this. I have journals upon journals upon journals of notes and notes and notes. And probably about 10 years ago, I started gathering those notes, and see, there goes Magdalene. I started gathering these notes and putting all the puzzle pieces together. And then I realized I had a set of modalities, and that she kept telling me, it's like this, it's more like this, and rewriting them in my head. And I'm like, well, let me just learn what these modalities are at first. Like I had no idea because I had just been reading tarot since I was 16. Like I hadn't gone into human design or astrology or anything like that. And so when I started realizing that, oh, these are all unique modalities, it really, and this is going to sound really woo, guys, like super out there, but it's the truth. I started having past life memories of being an Essene and teaching in an Essenic community. And the Essenes were this esoteric community that lived all throughout the region during Magdalene's time and all the way up into Egypt. And this was, I remember even the date, it was like 1011 BC, like before even Yeshua and Magdalene came. But I remember teaching these modalities in a slightly tweaked way, but they were here. And I remember learning and, talking about the Babylonian and the Egyptian teachings around astrology. And so when I started putting these modalities together, it was just this floodgate opening of all this remembering of these ancient teachings. And so what I'm doing is we're calling it, instead of rewriting human design and gene keys, we're calling it rewiring. I'm rewiring these, I personally feel, masculine-based modalities into Magdalene language. And I'll show you a little bit about that today. But I am taking what we know as human design, what we know as gene keys, rewiring them into Magdalene feminine language. I'm taking Kabbalah, I'm taking Hermeticism, I'm taking Kemetic Egyptian teachings, and Kabbalah, and putting them all together, and step astrology too, and putting it all together into this beautiful language of knowing who you are. And so when I'm pulling a chart, I'm pulling like 7 or 8 different things, and I start seeing patterns. And Chris, you and I have talked about this, where we start just seeing things coming out. And it's the frequency reading of a person's chart. So that's what I'm creating. And I'm wrapping this all up into what is called the heroine's journey.
Oh, I love that.
And the heroine's journey, I have mapped out 19 phases that correlate to 19 aspects of a person's chart. So that's what
19.
that's what
I
I'm
like
creating.
the number. Well, 19 is I manifest. So, I materialize. So that's really the incarnation right there. I think that's interesting. And the patterns, you're totally right. I mean, first of all, when you are a practitioner and you can get backed up by a tarot card that you pull, or you can get backed up by another psychic says the same thing. That is so powerful because first you're verifying that understanding, to verify what feels correct on the inside is a big deal because you're getting out of nowhere. It's just coming in. And when it first comes in, right, you wonder, I remember as a kid, I'm like, am I lying? I didn't know if I was lying. I was scared I was lying, but I didn't feel like I was lying. But I don't remember actually, I don't remember planning to lie. It just came, So, so that the fact that you have the system where many are backing up many, I think it's a product that the world needs right now. Where do you see the most? As far as with a person, and how it will be ingested? Will it actually be a chart, like visual chart?
Yeah, it will be a physical chart. My amazing husband is getting his master's right now in applied artificial intelligence and automation, so that's helping a huge amount.
No accident.
But there is, we're creating a whole new chart, and it will look like a seed of life. There is a magnetic side and an electric side. And so your chart, each person's seed of life, which is a single, and interestingly enough, there's 19 aspects to the seed of life. And so when I counted that, I was like, well, there's the 19 phases of the heroine's journey. It just all clicked together. And so how I see it as, and I think I talked about this in the channeling, Magdalene talked about it, is that one seed of life is us. When we start connecting in together and creating the community of the beehive or the flower of life, that's what our true heroine's journey is. This is what, we're bouncing this idea of calling it, this is hers with a capital HERS. This is hers. And we need to know her story, which is our story. This modality is going to help a person not only find their soul purpose, but to know what their story is and how it's played out in their life, and to see the patterns, and to know how to move forward too.
Well, I love that you're focusing on divine feminine, first of all, because I think it's getting attacked. For centuries. But I just mean there's a modern effort, to I think defeminine women after they over-feminine women, all this stuff is leave the woman alone. But I also feel like women have not had their chance in the earth without anyone getting in the way or interrupting to just be who they want to be and do what they want to do. We haven't seen, especially as women together, it seems like modern women today, it's even more pulled apart by just, you know, evil on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, so I love that there's a focus, particularly on divine feminine, because everyone talks about divine feminine, but I don't see anyone but you actually embracing it as a need.
It is a need. It's and to talk more about the heroine's journey,
Mm,
we're familiar with the hero's journey. I mean, it's typical Star Wars. You know,
mhm.
you go
Yeah,
at it alone, you find the guide, you do this, you do that. The heroine's journey is very different because, yeah, we're at it alone. Actually, it starts off with the separation from the feminine and how we
mm,
begin to over identify with the masculine and how we learn how to survive in an external patriarchal world where we go to get that 9 to 5, where we get that corporate job, where we're single, single stay-at-home mom and we become the PTA mom. It's like we become this Mars identity of do. And so
that's true.
that's the descent of the heroine's journey. That
Oh
is the falling apart.
wow,
And then it's
wow.
like, and I remember there was this interview with Will Smith where he was like, I achieved all this. And then it was just this spiritual aridity, dryness. It's like, I have everything I wanted, but that's not what I want.
Mhm,
And so that begins the next chapter of the heroine's journey of this initiation and the calling. And so it's like, this is usually when a person has their spiritual awakening.
mm,
And you have that calling of, oh, this is a call. This is not just an awakening. This is a call. This is a mission. And draws you back into the feminine, back into the goddess. And then everything with the heroine's journey involves community, finding that community, inserting your gift in with the community, building that sacred community around you. So you're
mhm,
not doing it alone. And then there's always the return back to the beginning because a heroine's journey is not a linear thing. It is a spiral. And we're
mm.
continually returning and returning and returning again back to our lesson upon our lesson upon our lesson. Even though it looks like we are repeating the same lesson, we're not. It is
No.
just a different layer of that lesson. And that's what the heroine's journey is.
Mm. Well, I find it interesting in the sense that it sounds like a heroine's journey. First of all, it's different than a male journey entirely. And I found as I'm getting to know past lives and people in past lives, people tend to stick with the same gender. I'm finding. I thought there's a lot more flipping and flopping, but when I
Mm.
look into lifetime after lifetimes of clients where I can now, I can't even believe I say this, but I can see into their past lifetimes pretty quickly, like where I didn't when I started, nothing like that. I'm seeing that people tend to stick to a gender. Like I've been a chick a few times. Sorry, I've been a woman a few times, but I'm not. That's it, a handful. I thought before when I first started in light work. So the point is like you're talking about a soul type, not even biological gender. We're talking about a soul who takes the receiving side of things, the passive side of things, the patient side of things. It's like a different approach to life altogether that women take. And there is not a story, but there's not a hero story we follow for them. There isn't one. Not even one icon. Like what's a female icon? Who do you admire as a woman out there in the world, other than Mary Magdalene, of course? But
Ava Perón, but that's
okay,
very much a hero's journey.
I love Eva Peron a lot. Well, at least the story.
Oh,
Yeah,
she was phenomenal.
she seemed very powerful
Again,
and incredible. Yeah, she really did.
um,
I'm not talking about
there's so
Madonna's
many.
performance. I'm talking about her.
But a very interesting heroine's journey that we're all familiar with that we don't see is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is actually a heroine's journey
Oh,
of
really? That's why I think
yeah,
he triggers me a little bit.
because
And
but he has that community around him. And if you start, there is that
it's
separation
true.
from the feminine or from the magic, and then he
Hmm.
comes back to it. And so the heroine's journey is out there. It is rare. But who do I mean, I admire. My favorite movie is Contact with Jodie Foster. But
Mm.
again, I would actually have to think about the heroine's journey of a good heroine. I mean, Magdalene's story is a heroine's journey. She did, even though she traveled a lot alone, a lot in southern France. She was originally with her brother and her sister and a community of people. Like she always found communities to insert her gift into. And
Mhm.
that is what she is bringing back with this sovereign essence map is knowing what your gift is, knowing what your purpose is, and then going and sharing that with a penta. So there's this saying that we're going to be finding our pentas. But Magdalene's like, well, it's kind of correct. We're finding a penta of 5 to insert ourselves into, which creates 6, which creates that beehive pattern.
So tell us the Penta thing. It's interesting. It comes into my mind right now of hearing about the new rave culture, the rave generation that's coming in that Dylan speaks to, one of our friends here at SiriusJoy, and the human design and Ra's prophecy that we have these this next generation of raves that apparently come in already connected as 5. Do you see any correlation between that and what you know?
100% correlation. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because Magdalene been talking about that ever since I was little. 2027, 2027. Fun fact.
Really?
I started channeling Mary Magdalene in 1987 when Ra channeled human design. And Magdalene
Whoa!
actually told me that all the modalities that were available 2000 years ago are available again. And so when I learned that, I was born in 1980, and that's when Ra channeled. It was 87 was when I started. I'm like, there's just so many synchronicities of this. So
Right.
the penta, and I completely agree. 2027 is going to be the shift. I think the children, not the rave children, but the children started coming in around 2012. My son was born in 2012, and it's definitely a shift with that era of those coming in where, they see me channel spirit and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2012 was definitely. I mean, what happened was Neptune went into Pisces, the first time since the American Civil War, and Pluto at the time was in Capricorn. And the significance of that is that in the Civil War, Pluto was in Taurus, so like we're still dealing with Earth issues in a heavy way. But with Pluto and Capricorn, that's control. So we actually were given the control to let go. We said that, and we were under that the entire time until Neptune is now in its final moments of Pisces. But 2012 was the Mayan shift. I mean, remember, they thought that this was the 2012 was when the Mayan calendar ended, right? And there was all the propaganda that will we be here, blah blah blah.
Right.
Again, another alignment. But at that time, I do remember a clean change. I felt like being in a diesel car and and a gear shift and like feeling the gear go like something just clunked into some other gear.
Yeah.
It was very Obama time, wasn't it? Was Obama here at that time? But I remember, I'm pretty sure Obama was president in 2012, and so we're kind of like 2 years into an African American president, which was unheard of. So there was already kind of things happening. But that's when my karma opened, though. For me, that's when I first started having past life stuff, traumas I couldn't understand, phobias I couldn't understand, rashes I didn't know where it came from. You know what I mean? Like, and from that point forward, this entire time has been about karma busting. What has it been for you the entire time, that opening?
Since 2012. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's been since 2012.
And
what's the theme? I mean, you were channeling, I guess, so you were on a different level. But did you see a distinction?
I was actually shut down at 2012.
Oh, so
I had shut down completely.
Oh, that's interesting.
I was beginning to reopen up in 2012. So I got pregnant with my son, and in 2011, I was in a major car accident and that I won't get into the full story, but it rewoke me back up because I wanted to see spirit again. I wanted my children to know who I am, who I was. Was both at the same time. It's an and universe. But there was this energy that I was like, it's time. Like I felt it. And so I started slowly waking back up. It takes 7 years, I have found, to do it naturally, to have this evolution. And so that started my evolution. So I was starting to open back up. The birth of my son really jolted me. So I say what has occurred for me is learning how to embody being maternal and how to give birth. And because this is what I'm creating here is complete birthing process. I have birthing pains and everything. So it's been a journey, and I have found a beautiful community that I didn't have before. So it's almost like a gathering of resources is what it feels like for this next chapter. Like 2027, I feel it's going to be that another, shift in gears, like, okay, here we go. Not so much beam me up, Scotty, but of this.
It's on.
Yeah.
I know what your fingers mean. I know what your fingers mean. No. That's how it feels. I mean, I've been trying to feel it out myself. I mean, I do my best for my audience. I feel a distinct change. I feel that, your life now will not matter. Everyone's life, like whatever you think is important now will not matter by June or July. There's just something else matters. The definition of matter is changing. What matters to you, and therefore what matter is, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. And everything looks the same, but it's not the same. I know how to describe it. It's an upgrade. But it's definitely a test of ourselves. And I'd like to hear what you have to say about this year, from just a channel perspective. But I think we should take a little break first. We'll come back and we'll continue with Krista. And we have a reading to a tag team with someone on camera. So we get to meet someone soon after this.
Yay.
SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
You started your business for freedom, but somewhere along the way, it turned into chaos. You're trying to fit your unique vision into someone else's blueprint, and it's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and second-guessing your every move. That's exactly why we created From Chaos to Clarity, your 12-week live business intensive. We give you the courage to claim your voice, the clarity to build your unique framework, and the conviction to lead your business your way. You'll get live power hours to hone your strategy and weekly accountability sprints to make sure the work actually gets done. Stop following, start building. You don't need to do it all alone. Clarity is closer than you think.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. So if there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products, a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
All right, here we are back with Krista Marie Miller. And Krista, I know you tap in all the time. I mean, are you like myself where if you're giving a reading to a client that it'll pop in something about George Bush or something, like something very random, something completely not relevant to the client, or the future, what's going on right now? It's like they slip stuff in for me. Maybe because I can handle many signals at the same time, but what do you pick up as far as this next chapter about this next year? Like what's your, you've been talking about it kind of around the edges, but 2027, what's your prediction officially as the new year is like 2 days from now? Oops, she's muted, I think. I think you're muted. Sorry.
I'm good now. So we can't talk about next year till like we wrap up this year. So this year, Magdalene wanted me to literally quote from her gospel because I think this wraps it up and sets the space for next year. So the beginning of Magdalene's gospel, it says, "What is matter? Will it last forever? The teacher answered, all that is born, all that is created, all the elements of nature are interwoven and united with each other. All that is composed shall be decomposed. Everything returns to its roots. Matter returns to the origins of matter. Those who have ears, let them hear." I think that wraps up 2026 really, really well. We returned to our roots. We got wiped clean, like to the bone. It's like stripped away. And it's like we were so raw, so vulnerable. Everything came out of the shadows that needed to come out of the shadows. And it was like, okay, let's just shine a spotlight on that. Wasn't planning on that. Well, okay. But it allowed us to prepare for 2026. 2026, Magdalene says, is going to be a year of processing. So now that we've been stripped raw, this, literally like this exoskeleton of ourselves, it's like, okay, now let's open up that exoskeleton and see what's inside. Let's process the inside now. Let's process our inner thoughts. Let's process our past lives. So it's going to be a hot year for processing. Get your journals ready, because we're going to be journaling a lot next year, because it's going to be a processing, which is going to prepare us for 2027. So, but fair warning, he also said the year of COVID was going to be processing too.
COVID's processing?
When she talked about COVID, I was like, what is this COVID thing? She's like, we're going to be processing. I'm like, and then when she said that's about 2026, I'm like, uh-oh.
Okay. And I said 2027, I think, in the open, but that was me mixed up. Thinking about that year. But really next year's 2026, a couple of days. Interesting. So is this something you and I have already done? Or, I feel like I've been processing my whole life. Like, I mean, I will go along with the crew always, but I mean, is this a population? I happen to know my past lives. I know why I have this life. I mean, I've done a lot of processing, putting the story together. I'm wondering, is that what the population you feel is doing? Is like they're getting their whole soul history together and their whole soul perspective? Or do you think that we all have been under a veil, and even yourself and myself, who have been looking at our past lives and putting them together, still are going to be like, holy shit?
I think because unfortunately we can't be intuitive about ourselves. Like, so, I don't know anything about this. I mean, that's why, Christopher, you and I have each other. It's like, what's going on?
Absolutely.
But there's this energy of, and I also feel like if you are a teacher or a healer, you get the lesson sometimes even a few days before you have that client show up for you, because we have to learn that lesson, learn and process it ourselves. And so it feels like the teachers and the healers are always just a couple steps ahead. And so I think we've already started our processing this year, but that's because we're preparing for our clients next year and be like, yep, been there, done that. All right.
It's more of the same then. It's more of the same. You're right, though. I will literally, I mean, it's funny because I'll talk to my staff, and be like, I can't make it in. I'm running late, blah, blah, because I think I'm dealing with the stuff everyone's going to deal with next Wednesday. And they're like, whatever, boss. Like, I feel like I'm making, I feel like it's like me calling into my own people I work with, giving them an excuse. They're looking at me like I'm playing games and playing tardy. And it's like, no, you're going to go through this. And I even tell the audience too, it's like, I'm going through this thing. I'll tell sometimes with my subscribers, my clients, pep talks 7 days a week, I will be basically like, I think, guys, I'm going through what this thing is, and it's not easy. And I'll actually go through it like 2 or 3 days before the step day is supposed to happen. And I see what it is, and I go through it. So I'm usually just getting through it when this starts for them.
Yeah.
And
so we can lead them and help them. So because it's how it's uniquely, divinely designed that way.
That's fascinating. Because we get it before. It kind of breaks the space-time, step system methodology too. You can get ahead like that in the steps if you can emulate that whole step, and put yourself in it. Wow, fascinating stuff. Well, we have a client here to give a reading to. I thought it'd be a good time to do that. Let people see what you do. This will be a tag team, but Krista goes first today and dives in. And hello. I don't know if we have sound for you yet, but hello. Or she's saying hi silently, or she's live.
Hi.
There you do have sound. Yay. Hi, how are you?
Yay.
Thank you for coming. It's nice.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love your, is that Isis?
Yeah. I love that you were talking about the divine feminine. I've been really drawn to that the past several years. I'm Mary Magdalene, and I've listened to a lot of your channeling, so I'm really excited to be here with you as well.
I love it. So I'm looking at the charts. So I'm processing like 4 or 5 charts at a time. So bear with me, guys.
We have the astrological one. And you know what? They put your question here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Are we going to put it on screen? Or are you going to say it?
I entered for the reading today, but I was on with you a week ago. I had a couple questions. It was about my Saturn, because it's opposed my Gemini moon, if you remember that. 28-degree Cancer, and you said that you would need to meet me, and here I am.
Wow! Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. Where are we then in the story? I mean, what is your perspective then? What you like to know, or you want a cold read?
A reading, would be amazing. Whatever you can answer. I know I do have Well, something that's interesting that I've noticed is so these full and new moons, so they're at 28 degrees and 13 degrees, which is my rising and my sun sign. So I think there's some message there. We also have Jupiter in Cancer right now. I know I'm very eighth house heavy. My sun, my Venus, my Mars. I also have a lot of stuff going on in my seventh house, my sun, Chiron, and then little first house, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune as well. So I don't know, just interesting, whatever you can give to me for some pointers this year. It's been an interesting past year. I got laid off from a job I didn't love. Had 6 months off, but I got severance pay and I got to travel and like Sedona that I've wanted to go to for years and had amazing healing. And I'm in a job that feels a lot more supportive now. But just I feel a lot of changes going on in my life and just trying to navigate through those.
Amazing. Well, I want to know if Krista is ready or not, because I don't want to jump in too soon.
Go for it. Yeah, but need like 2 more minutes.
No problem. So, well, you know what's interesting is, Jupiter has been in your 12th house this last year. So honestly, a lot of the experience you've had in this have been past life. So this has been past life remembrance, basically. Is this correct?
No. Yeah, Cancer's my 8th house.
Okay, something's off here. Okay, yeah. She looks puzzled. So we ran this incorrectly, y'all. We'll go from psychic. We'll switch over to psychic and we'll get a new one. Sorry about that. Probably a typo.
Okay.
Our bad. We'll take it off here real quick and run it. So what do you pick up on, Krista, first, and I'll do the chart second.
Okay. So what I'm pulling off automatically is, so luckily this I'm pulling on different modalities. So I started looking at your Jupiter even before you started looking at Jupiter, because in your chart, phase 18 of the heroine's journey is creating anthropos. And anthropos is how to live a fully human life. So this is a fullness of a new life. This is the birth of a new paradigm. And that's automatically where Magdalene took me. In your chart, you have this in what Magdalene calls portal 5. So portal is the same as a gate in human design, but portal holds way more information than a gate. So a portal in man, okay, slow down. Magdalene's like, so portal 5 is you hold ancient chaotic energy. Ancient. So I have mapped out 64 Egyptian gods and goddesses connected into the portals or gates. Portal 5 is ruled, or your guide is, his name is Kek, K-E-K. He's one of the original Ogodots. So ancient. And he's part of the original, and he's about obscurity. It's obscurity linked to masculine chaos. Okay, so I know you're building this feminine chaos and this femininity, and chaos is not a bad thing. Chaos energy, according to Hermetic and Egyptian teachings, chaos is what is born before matter. Okay, so we have this. It first actually starts with darkness, and it slowly starts taking form. But obscurity is one of those phases, and so this is phase 5. Kek is the guide for you, and you reach out to me, I'll send you a picture of him. He's super cool. He has a frog head and he's really cool. But with the obscurity, so you're building this new phase of life, but there's going to be so much obscurity around it because of your placement in your chart. Jupiter in that phase, my goodness, there's so much here. Phase 18, creating anthropos, how you create this whole life. Jupiter is the expansion planet that you have it with this ancient darkness. He's like, Kek was like the darkness that contained the fire of the ones that came before him. So he takes that creative fire, brings it down, and this is the masculine energy that you can work with. Imagine having that in Jupiter. That's really, really powerful that you have that. But you're always going to have it in this obscurity and this waiting energy. So your question was, where do I move this energy to?
I think it was what's next. Yeah.
What's next? Kind of how can I use this energy to move forward?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
curious. How do you use that kind of energy to move forward?
yeah.
I mean, there's a
So
lot of hectic in the world. There's a lot of wrong things in the world that I think would love to be opened up by you. You know what I mean? A person like yours. But go ahead.
there's first work with him. First get comfortable in the uncomfortable. And Magdalene's already
Mm.
seen you doing that. The past 3 years, it's been
I was
like
gonna
sitting
say
with
that's been the mantra that I've had. Like, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable for a while.
Yep. So, I mean, and you're just right there on the edge of allowing, like, Isis with those wings, allowing those wings to spread out. Right now, they're a little curled up and tight. And it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Because we're moving through this phase. So getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, you've been sitting on these pin cushions, and Magdalene's like, stop, like get off the pin cushion. You don't like, yeah, it's part of who you are. If you can look back in your life, you've always been comfortable in the uncomfortable. So just accept it and embrace it, because you can move other people through being uncomfortable. Getting through, like, you would be a transformational healing. Having portal 5 in Jupiter, that is a healer that can deal with chaos. Somebody can bring the most messed up situation to you and be like, okay, I get it. I can feel it. I can sense it. The key for you, though, is, you know, not to take that on. And it feels like you've been really, Magdalene's like, she keeps applauding you. So first of all, congratulations on all the work you've been doing, and continue with the teachings of ancient Egypt, because there's a lot of information there, especially around tone and frequency for you.
Yes, I've been getting more into frequencies too, and just got more sound bowls, and I've been listening to different things about that. So
Yes.
I wanted to incorporate
Also,
that in energy healing. I just became a Reiki master over the summer.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, slow down. Okay, you haven't been to Egypt yet, have you?
No,
Okay.
something I thought about.
Or I'm planning a trip in about 2 years, so keep it on your books. But there is a temple in Egypt. It is in Saqqara, and it is literally a frequency hospital. You need to get there, because that is, I mean, you lived there and you practiced there. So again, I love that you have Isis, and there's just all this information. I'm and Kek, he keeps coming in and saying, so he has a frog head, and he is about the metamorphosis and that ancient fire. So I'll go down. She's showing me that uncomfortableness is part of your gift.
Does she make other people uncomfortable? Do you make other people uncomfortable, or you just how's that work?
I feel like I'm really good at being there and holding space for uncomfortable things and emotions for people.
Oh, okay. You're that one that,
Yeah.
like, when everyone else is freaking out, you're just all of a sudden like strong,
Yeah.
calm. Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
And you're
Yeah.
like, it's okay to feel. It's okay. Feel. Let it out. Like,
It's like a step 22 quality, or a net 4 quality, I find, is that energy, which is I belong. Actually, we have your realtor up here now too, take over. And Jupiter is definitely doing the case. Can we bring that up on screen? Thanks.
Yeah.
So Jupiter, so this is a transformation year. Now we have the right time. So pardon us for that. We typed it in wrong. Two things that come to mind. One, Jupiter going through the 8th house is a transformational year, 100%. So it affirms everything that Krista's saying. And believe it or not, you're only in the first part, which is trusting yourself. So this last chapter, which is from the summer until now, has been about clearing the stuff, that's with your own relationship to yourself, where you yourself doubt or don't have full faith. Her Venus is at 19, by the way. So that makes you, you are a manifester of reality just by holding space, you are the vessel in which things are born. All right. So you're kind of like a galactic womb in that sense. And your oscillating little tear is at 16. So see, you have worked around some of your fears actually are of being killed for your spiritual path, kind of Mary Magdalene sort of treatment is something I think you're afraid of. So if she's come to you, it's because I'm sure she identifies. And, in that same line of consciousness, we have Black Woman with herself at 26, which looks like you're a divine feminine leader once upon a time. And as a divine feminine leader, you were absolutely killed. There's no question. if it's Black Luminous in the 8th house. So what you've been really facing, I think, at the moment is every time I do this, I get killed. Can I trust this? Kind of thing. Every time I've done this in the past, can I get killed? And so I'd imagine that some of that uneasy energy is helping you to get out of your own, your own fear trap at the moment, like where you've maybe held yourself a little too tight or put yourself a bit in, in hiding. I mean, you live in hiding, okay, basically already. Although you've come on our program a couple of times, but that's us. And so you've been in hiding because of this fear, right? But also at the same time, it's that hiding is actually the ability for you to create this sacred space. You sort of live in this conscious womb that you create, right? Which is the 8th house as well. And in that, you're here to create, transform. So I think you're in the first part of it. This next part, I think, and I feel intuitively is, do you work professionally doing this or working with light work?
No, actually, nursing background, but then I got in the training aspect of it. So I'm teach the electronic medical record system to nurses and doctors. And then just in my part-time, I'm a yoga teacher, like my spare time on the side, I'm a yoga teacher and a Reiki master.
Okay. Well, you'll see too that Pluto is halfway through your 2nd house. And so what that means is that you're now going to begin a new revenue stream going forward this year. And I actually feel I'm just going to tell you what I see blank is I feel like these people that you're teaching medical records to, you're really actually going to be kind of stealing as clients. So you'll be there, not stealing, but kind of hijacking. I mean, they sign up for that, but they didn't realize they're getting something else. And I think that there's a large percentage of the medical field who's trained in Western medicine that is going to flip sides. And I've been seeing this on the other side. I've seen a number of light workers who then went to medical and got nursing stuff because they're going to hybrid and they're going to help us all come into the truth of whatever healing is. Whatever it is, it's a little bit of the A and a little bit of B. And I feel like you're going to be, I see you working like a consultant in a very deep way, like one-on-one over months with clients to help them develop something. And it feels like it's these Western medicine students, particularly women, that gravitate towards you and that you help. That's what it feels like. So this is definitely time to get started. I mean, all you want to do this year, if you can, is, start to make some revenue from it. And that's really what it is about, planning that out and building the pipeline for this to go in that direction. But it becomes much bigger than that. Yeah. Do you think come up for you in that regard, or I'll continue? Oh, you're muted, dear.
Rawr. Sorry.
She's saying her best stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Magdalene just started talking my ear off. So she was with this portal 5. There is this being uncomfortable in the uncomfortable is part of the energy that you can help people when they are in these fixed, stuck energies or fixed patterns, or they're stuck in this loop where you can go. And Magdalene said it beautifully, where she was like, hang on, let me just have her repeat it. Your power is keeping the lamp lit, the daily devotion that makes you trustworthy to your own soul. So for me, it's this, you can light this lamp and like hold it for others in the dark, kind of like, the hermit card in tarot, where you're holding this lamp, but it's like, I'm seeing you in this cave and you're leading, and it's both men and women, which is very fascinating, but you're leading them into, and they're like scared and it's stink and they're like, there's bats, and you're like, it's okay. We're going to feel today. You guys ready to feel? And everybody's like, and you're like, we're gonna just allow this out, and we're gonna allow all the emotions out, and you're like, no big deal, we're gonna do this, and everybody's freaking out, and that's what you can do. And it's this beautiful, you can keep the lamp lit for people to heal, is what I keep getting.
That's interesting. It almost feels like sort of a Louise Hay kind of energy, in the sense of it almost feels like you are holding a torch for education itself. Where Louise Hay's legacy ended up being that she herself a light worker, a practitioner, a great speaker, and all that stuff, but she became a publisher, and now Hay House is, she became the house that all was published. You have a similar kind of energy in the sense that you are here you have some sort of a movement that you're going to manifest. You're going to manifest a movement on the planet. It's something your heart personally wants to see, this movement, this change. But your rising is all this innovative education here. This is Senate, like saying the truth that people want to hear. You yourself are a little afraid what happens once you speak the truth. Like once I tell the truth, what happens? You're stuck there. You don't know how to accept what happens next. And that's sort of what you're working on right now. I mean, this work here with Jupiter in the early degrees is learning you how to cope with your own phobias, your own boogeyman, boogeyman, nothing that, others may identify with, which is mostly like, maybe letting them down, maybe feeling that you let people down, maybe feeling that people feel let down for a moment, but they're really not. They just don't know it yet. Those kind of quiet, awkward moments for you. And, and as a spiritual messenger, you've been killed also before, betrayed by your own brothers, your own sisters, your own family, the people you work with, the people you're, married to, so to speak, professionally and also personally. And so I do feel like you need partnership to make this happen. And one of the things that's holding things up is that there's a fear of, someone too close, because those people have mostly betrayed. And so, but I feel that the reason why you didn't see that before, this is what the North Node represents right here. Believe it or not, you get this, but you had a soldier from a past life that you brought to take care of yourself. So your inner mother is a man, and this man is like very tough and stern and does things by the books and wants things regulated. So like this very, very, very good soldier that you once were is who cares for you. But you actually have to add love to that. So the soldier's not being loving enough, which a soldier would not be by nature. And so the North Node at 4 says, ironically, when the soldier can put on a skirt or an apron, like when the more of a feminine, if the soldier inside of you can pay closer attention to the sensitive femininity parts of you and be more sensitive with your sensitive parts, right? Then you're going to find yourself being more strong, ironically, when you cater to the sensitive. So you're very good at being strong and tough, but being sensitive and feeling tough in the sensitive, that's the next little step for you. And when Saturn here and Neptune, cross the space, that's where you might feel overwhelmed, by the way, by your vulnerability for a moment, but you're being opened up to have both energies, divine feminine and masculine at the same time. And, protect you have to protect your faith when you're out there in the world. You have to protect your beliefs, your faith, and your intuition. Don't let anyone talk you out of what you're picking up on. Yeah. So I think those things were thrown her off before. Do you have a question, anything that inspires in you to ask further?
Well, thank you so much. You've confirmed a lot of things just intuitively that I picked up on, or even in visions that I've had even before I came on here, how Krista was even talking about the, violet of her eye. I did a shaman breathwork ceremony for the winter solstice, and that was like the last vision that came to me, and I ended up drawing it. Just so many things have really resonated. So you've answered so many questions and just confirmed so many things for me. So I just really appreciate everything. I know we've got some full and new moons on my sun sign and my rising or degrees. Do you have like any advice for those upcoming moons?
Well, yes. I mean, you have one already. Well, do we have the next one coming? Actually, it'll be the Cancer one, or have we had it yet?
Yeah.
No, we have the new moon. It's a new moon that opposes your sun. So the new moons are always on the sun. We won't have a new moon on your sun. We'll have one opposing your sun. Because the new moons have been at 28 and the full moons have been at 13. So how did you survived the full moon at 13 recently in Sagittarius? What was the experience for you? I would imagine it would have been some sort of a shedding of disguise.
That was exactly it. It was, I decided to do a little detox. During that detox, I found out that I had parasites in my body. So I've been doing an even deeper detox of myself. So really getting my health on track and really just paying attention to what I'm putting in my body and my mind. And just seeing that I really need to step up my lifestyle.
Well, that's good. And really, it's so you can, the 13 is just so you can follow, your heart can believe what you want to believe in. That for you to, you're here to be a lighthouse that believes in what you believe in and doesn't apologize for it. And that's the rebel. That's the person that, needs to be taken to the tower because they're never going to change. And so each full moon is sort of activating this revolution in you. This last one was really the biggest one. Okay. The prior one was more private. It was time to crack open the door and get into your deep self. The one prior to that, I think we had it, was around, this is not my world. I need to find my real world where I need to be. And so the next one coming up is actually, what is my true value? Why am I valuable? What is my purpose in that sense? And what will happen is the new moon, or actually the what do I put for it? The new moon at 28 is always building, from that revolution. So you're kind of like, the full moons for you are like breaking down what's keeping you from. And then the new moon is then at that point creating a new version. And this last new moon for you was right on the galactic center, like it was for everyone. But for you, it was the birth of this new character that you're becoming. So you're birthing a new character, a new way of being, which is based on a new way of feeling, by the way. And so then you'll have a revolution of your values, and then you'll probably birth a new business in the next one. So you know what? If you birth a business, I'll tell you, my original creation date for my whole career is 28 degrees Capricorn. So you're going to have a new moon that for you yourself also are creating on that day. So I'll tell you, it takes a long time, but it happens. And then a revolution of your communication, probably the undoing of your tongue, no longer being tongue-tied with certain things, holding things back. Be in Aquarius that you end up having when you have the full moon in Leo, your voice will be released, will be free, and then the one more happens, which will be a new foundation for your home, family, and the way you treat yourself. So basically, it seems like you're shedding all year, and then you're planting seeds of a brand new master level version of yourself. The new moons are all at a master level where you've been operating at a proficient level. So you're literally up leveling until April. Yeah. Pretty passionate, pretty cool actually. Yeah, you'll have to come now. You have to come back and keep seeing us again.
Perfect. Will do.
We love it. Where are you located in the United States?
Springfield, Illinois.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which is right on my Saturn line. I can't wait to move away from here. So it's been a little tough.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Working through a lot of karma.
Yeah.
Well, you have Saturn. I mean, honestly, I had my Pluto line for a while, and it was horrible. But Pluto's so damn strong that although it was horrible, I had the strength for it. And so I think for you too is similar. So you'll be moving you'll know where to move after that new moon, that full moon. That full moon happens in Virgo when the sun's in Pisces. So when the sun's in Pisces and the full moon's in Virgo, you'll know precisely where you're going to go next, I think, where you belong next. And whatever it feels like preparation to build a school. I mean, if I were to put money on the table, I think you're building some sort of a school.
Perfect. Yeah, I've been kind of traveling, deciding where I wanted to go. My daughter also just graduated this year. I've been a single mom my whole life. And yeah, she graduated this year, which is why I couldn't come to Unite the Light. I really wanted to, but it was her graduation weekend. So hopefully this next year I can come.
It'd be great to see you and meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
From your side there, Krista?
A lot.
Forever,
yeah. To wrap it up, Magdalene wanted to talk about the Saturn as well. Like Saturn. So there's this energy that Keck has, this guide that you have in Portal 5. And in his hieroglyph, he has a cup. And a cup in a hieroglyph is actually pretty rare. It's usually you see these vases. But he has a cup. And this is because this energy that he holds cannot be contained for long. So Magdalene wanted to bring that forward with this energy that this is actually connected with Saturn, not Jupiter. She corrected me. She's like, this is Saturn, not Jupiter, Krista. And then when we got the corrected chart, of course she was right. So scratch the things I said about Jupiter, because it's actually Saturn that you have this portal in. So this chaotic energy around this structure, around this discipline, and it's this cup that you hold. So when you are guiding people, so everything I said still is resonant, just with Saturn instead of Jupiter. But when you hold the container for people, yes, I'm sorry, what's your cat's name?
Jimmy, short for Gemini.
Okay, yes, and he's a boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you rescued him, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because he looked at you right now and said, "Remember when I was in the cage and I came up and pawed? Did you do that? Did he do that?"
A little bit, yeah.
Because he's like, I knew that was you. I knew you were my person, and he just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for rescuing me. And he's more like a baby than a cat, and he loves you so much. And I know. I'm talking about you. I know. And he's also saying, okay, yeah. You don't give. So there's these little treats that you give him, correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
These little ones, and he says that you are too stingy with them. He's like, can I have 3 instead of 2?
He gets very jealous of my dog too.
So funny. It's so funny. Anyway, give him 3 next. He was very insistent. 3 instead of 2. I don't know what that is about. Okay. Next time you do that, please no. I can communicate with anything, guys.
Yeah. It's just like it's funny. The cats demand your attention, and they demand psychics too. Like I think they feel the psychic energy going between the client, because I swear to God, a cat's always get in the way of readings with me. Always. Like they always like come up, start petting the owner, like start like, hey, oblivious to the reading. And was there a final point there that we stepped on with the cat, or the cat stepped on? Are we good?
Yeah, no, the cat just wants more treats.
Of course, the cat does. Doesn't take a psychic to know that. No, I'm kidding. Well, thank you for coming on. It was such a pleasure. We'll see you again. We'll have to
Thank you so much.
It'd be great. I have a feeling, the spirit guides are obviously working for you, winning and everything. So I have no faith. Just tell us, just pray when you want to come on, and you'll come on.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, Angela.
Bye.
So we have another reading here, but when we take a quick little break, reboot, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back, and we have a second question that has been written, but I guess it's like War and Peace. It's going to take AI to interpret it real quick. We'll be right back. SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. So if there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of CT Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. CT makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual CT skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
Hello, we're back. It's SiriusJoy Alive. I'm Christopher Wotecki. I'm here with Christopher Miller, a wonderful channel and psychic who tunes into everything, including basically plants, cats, all kinds of things. It's interesting, isn't it? Like how everything is alive and aware.
Oh, and everything holds consciousness. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, things it's wild.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can. Yeah, anything with stone or life force energy in it, I can read.
Fascinating. And we have a question coming up here, and I want to make sure we get to it. I guess I have a chart in there, but what about the question itself, Morgan? You said I have the question is it's on screen. Here we go. So we'll read it together. Okay. Looking at my career, says Shannon, been off work for a long time while healing and caring for my 2 daughters. Makes sense. Have dabbled in a few of many ideas, but life has been so full of changes. That I haven't been able to fully dive into any of my business endeavors. I'm wanting to work on business projects, including doing my own readings and healings. Continue. A community event, resource business, and even thoughts of a YouTube channel about my own healing and self-love journey. and systems I'm incorporating to support me and my girls. Is now a good time to dig into these businesses? If there is, if so, is there one that stands out, or is it best to get a part-time job to supplement my income until I'm ready for more business later? Okay, awesome. That's a pretty standard question we get a lot, actually. Right now, people in that exact situation. Shannon, do you want? It seems like you're picking up. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Yep.
You don't have to. It's up to you.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at is this energy. I automatically got pulled. Well, I was reading your question during the break, and I automatically got pulled into Portal 56 in your chart, and you have it on the electric side, which is the to-do side. And the archetype for Portal 56 in Magdalene's Sovereign Essence map is this energy of an alchemical sage. And this is somebody who can move energy when they move. So if you want an ideal situation, you need to be traveling. Kind of think like very much gypsy energy. This is an energy that you need to continually move on. And the fact that you have this in your north node, and I believe let me look again. Yeah, line 6. Line 6 is about, slow down. Magdalene's saying that when you have this Portal 56 with line 6, that you're gonna have like these little red caution flags, these little flags of saying slow down and do this and do that. And there's gonna be a lot of naysayers that are be like, oh, you shouldn't do this. But Magdalene's saying, as long as you are moving and you are, there's something with this movement that really needs to occur. Whatever, if this is retreats, if this is yoga, but it's about the movement that is so important. And to do it, she keeps showing me this red flag that I'm not getting it. Let me see if I can show me in a different way. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, she's showing me putting the flag down into the ground, and that when she puts this red flag down into the ground, it actually sinks down into the ground. For me, that means that it's you heed these warnings a little too deep. That when people give you all these red flag cautions, that you embody them, and you're like, oh, now I can't do this, and you literally start shrinking yourself because these ideas that you have, you're like, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this. So it's like, stop heeding the naysayers. It's like, what other people think of you is none of your business, and it's part of your purpose is to move, is to do some type of movement. I'll pass it to you.
Interesting. Okay, well, I have her chart here too. Yeah, no, that's very interesting because she is a step 11, and not only that, but step 11 Leo. And that means that's kind of a prudish queen. This is a queen who is kind of a germaphobe kind of energy. It's as far as like not wanting things having to be perfect. I mean, considering knowing oneself to be important, knowing oneself to be self-loved. You do love yourself. The fact that you took off time for your daughters and you're okay with all that, that's a queen. That's a person who is who knows her place in the world, what to do. The 11 is a part of you that is overcritical. Okay. And I agree with the assessment there. Part of the reason there's an overcriticism is actually, if you look here in the upper parts of the chart, if we can go to my version, Morgan, instead of yours, where I have my cursor going, put mine on there. Well, actually, I don't know if I have it. Okay, maybe I don't have that on the right cursor. Is this it? Here we are. Okay, my bad. So bad. So if you look at into the subconscious here, this is actually a lack of boundaries with higher self, between you and higher self. There hasn't been a lot of established connection to your highest self, and that's actually what needs to be checked upon as far as whether or not these details matter. So what this comes down to, the 21 of Pluto there, is develop a relationship where you are talking to your feelings every day and asking your feelings, hey, what's going on? What can I do for you? How can I be of service? You notice you have Pluto here literally thawing out your emotional foundation. And the thing is that I think what's going on to some degree is Pluto here at 1 says you kind of spend a lot of time emotionally fretting about not being loved, not being cared for. And that energy that worries about not being cared for needs to care for where you're going and what you're doing and the care to move forward. So you have to decide yourself, like, instead of continually noticing that I'm not getting what I want, let's continually noticing what I want and how to get it. So there's a flipping there. And ironically, even though you feel a lot because you feel the pain and you feel a certain loss, you're just feeling the lowest vibration of it. And it's because you haven't practiced really looking at your feelings and making segregation of your feelings and protecting your feelings. So segregation means that's what Pluto's doing. This feeling is the past. This feeling is the present. This feeling was yesterday. This feeling came from my son. This feeling came from my daughter. So identifying where they come from is the first thing. And then once you start to distinguish them, then you're going to have to go up here into heaven and go, okay, which feeling is heaven? Which feeling is spirit? And lock in on that feeling. So I think one of the issues is that when you weren't queen, but you were very close to the queen. It feels like you were a sister of a queen. So you feel as you are qualified because you did the job, you've been there, whatever. And ironically, in that lifetime, I mean, you were taken care of like a queen, but you didn't take care of yourself like one. And so you actually have not learned how to pamper yourself at the level necessary to vibe as high as you want to vibe. So some of this is about pampering. Spirit's saying to me, take care of your kids and yourself. They want you to include yourself in that. So you stay at home to take care of your kids and yourself. And you're building the right foundation of emotional self-care and connection to spirit. You're not going to have the Pope tell you this time what's going on. You, with this 6th degree here in Libra, you're meant to channel spirit fluently. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you can't tell the difference between your imagination, your kids, your telepathy, your past lives. I mean, you have to really map out that the fidelity of all those different voices and frequencies, which is what you'll be doing this next 2 years, is what I understand. So I agree with Krista about being in movement. Actually, I think you need to move. I don't know if you picked up on that, but a relocation period is coming. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just kept getting move, just move.
Well, Pluto in this space here is almost always a relocation. What you call home is not good enough. Right. And I'm not calling your home bad. I'm saying, girl, you're meant to have something even higher, whatever it is, it's going to be higher. What happened is that you were very high up as far as how well you were cared for. And so to kind of balance your soul out, you went all the way to the other extreme. When you incarnated in this lifetime, you incarnated at an extreme as far as the attention, the care, the nurturing. And that was only so that you can build your own foundation and, not have to have it tied to a king or a state or a corporation. You are going to be a sovereign being, which is good. You're talking to Krista Marie here. It looks like you're going to manifest another school manifestation, another education. Education seems to be where you were headed. What you agreed to do is to make a lot of money. So you told the Elastic Universe, you're going to make a lot of money this lifetime. And the reason why you're making money is not for material sake. It's that you want to show the value of wisdom, and you want people to be known for making fortunes from wisdom. And so that's a kind of a new bent. So you're here to kind of change belief structure in that sense. That's like, oh no, the nerds actually make the money, or the brilliant people make the money. Just encouraging the population to be educated, think for themselves. I think that was when I'm picking up from your past life in the royal life. Again, you were like sisters or next to it. And this could have been a tribal queen, by the way. This could have been in the middle of the jungle. It could be small in terms of what humans would call, a kingdom or kingdom now, but it was your whole world was everything, and you were royal. But in that lifetime, you were very frustrated by how people not think for themselves. And so I think, you're kind of still in that same battle, that and partnerships. Partnerships can be an issue. You tend to get yourself, you tend to get caught in chaos a lot when it comes to relationships. A lot of fighting, a lot of chaos. That's because you don't know how you feel going in. So that's what I pick up. So going forward, you're talking about businesses. It feels like, I'll answer this too, Krista, but, right now it is time to start new work. What I picked up immediately is to find work that's interesting in an industry that you want to observe. And so it doesn't matter why you want to observe it. Just the fact that you're interested in it is enough. I don't think you'll end up in it, but I think it leads to everything. So it's almost like you get a job working for an AI company and you end up opening up a brownie store. It's like, but it's an AI, you learn how to bake brownies with this new algorithm. Or, there's something that's going to lead to something, but you're going to be working every day. Like, you have to be around people. You have to integrate again. Been a little too isolated, is what I feel.
I was getting when you were talking about the past life with the queen, I was getting Cambodia really, really strong.
Oh, okay, there you go, because it felt kind of jungly.
Very strong.
Yeah,
So
but
is
very, very
Cambodia
royal.
jungle? I don't know. I'm horrible with geography. But that there was a connection also with spirit in that life, and that you're gonna have to really, really heal that past life in order to shed the skin of the turmoil that you experience in that life of not being seen and you're safe to be seen in this life. I'm like, let's move on to the next question. I'm like, I'm ready.
There's a part two, yeah.
Part two.
So part two is her body. Okay. My body has been really loud about getting into my feminine. Does it look like it's a good time to start dating again? That's funny. I've been out of a relationship for just 4 years and had to do a lot of unraveling and healing. The reason why I say it's funny is because when you were saying, what's next for her, I felt relationship issues.
Me too.
Did you too? Okay. You go in first.
I was like, next question. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. And it turned out to be next. Or is it best for me to still do some foundational work, getting my inner masculine to support my feminine at this time? I got to say real quickly, it's like the reason why you don't know between this or that is because you haven't spent enough time with your feelings every day. Because what answers those ties in a race is a feeling. One feels right, one doesn't. One feels slightly brighter than the other one. One feels slightly easier than the other. One feels slightly more of a pull than the other. That's how us intuitives do it. It's just a subtle little shift in the feeling of the energy. And you do feel it, but you're mixing feelings from other things into it. You're letting it all get in the same sauce. So go ahead, Krista. What do you have to say about current relationships?
Current relationships is so this correlates to the netter, the Egyptian guide in Portal 56. The Egyptian netter, force of nature, is Hu, H-U, Hu. That is literally God's breath. So in order to prepare yourself, it's interesting that the next love of your life is going to be tightly correlated to your career. You're going to either meet this person through your career, or you will be doing some type of business together, because there's this energy of co-creation through breath. And breath is also, Magdalene describes it really beautiful. It's like God's breath is creative, it's the creative utterance. It's this. And so in order to heal, make sure if you're not doing breath work, that is going to help you. And also Portal 56 is connected in with phase 17 of the heroine's journey in your chart, and that is returning to the world with your gifts, but it's also your inner child integration. So inner child work will help you heal even more and prepare for this person, because I feel like this next person is going to need some inner child work themselves.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say that as gently as I can.
Well, no, I mean, if we can put the chart on the screen real quickly, we're running out of time here, but I do want to answer. Chiron at 22, your Chiron wound is in fact that, a long-term partnership you got very confused in, you lost yourself on the person. Okay. And if you haven't lost yourself in a person yet, then this person's coming. I feel that the importance to take the job is tied to the man. So you answered that, Krista. For me, whatever job it is, it's really about you're going to meet him through that. And you're going to also have access to your next work, which is what Krista just said also. So you definitely want to just, when you feel a job might be interesting, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I know your mind will be like, I've never done that or whatever. Like, it's like totally foreign. That's the form you're looking for. It's like foreign, but interesting. Yes. And that's how you will think of him too. But as you can see, really, as Chiron ends its Aries transit here, the next 7 years is about relationship clearing, particularly, and where you lose yourself emotionally in relationships by accident, not on purpose. Also, Uranus in Gemini means time to forge some new intimacy. So I think you kind of have two jobs, because you have been a woman who has, come to power through being married to kings, being married to important people. Relationships are almost kind of like a career for you to some degree. And they're kind of complicated in the sense that they are both relationship issues like we all have and career issues. So, and that's common because that was the main career for any sort of Venus energy, was to be of support of, And so, so it's not 50s traditional for women to be that way. It's like the last, 2000 years, women have been of assistance to men, and that has been their value. So there's some divine feminine is doing some powerful transmutation where they're taking that power back, but you have to close all those relationships to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. So excellent. Well, thank you, Shannon. It was a pleasure to have you on, and thank you for your questions. And Krista, you're going to have to come back. I mean, this was great fun. It was good. It's good practice for both of us.
May I say, like, I just throw this out there for anybody. Like, when I'm listening to you each time, I feel like a freaking bobblehead, because I'm like, even when I'm like listening to the daily pep talk or anything, I'm like, I'm just throwing out there. If you bobblehead when you listen to him, you're not alone.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm a bobblehead when I listen to you. I mean, I was just When you just did, I was like, Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I think it went off camera. It's nice though. It's nice. I'll tell you, we won't be fooled again, by the world, because enough of us are on the same page with each other, and that's great. Krista, what should we learn about you and where to go next to know more about you?
Oh gosh, good question. Do we have a QR code?
Do we have
Guys,
it? Oh,
thank
there is,
you.
yeah.
Da, 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 da. Magic behind the scenes. Yeah, so for a 5-minute audio follow-up reading, or for you guys who got the reading, scan the code and I will continue the reading because I get so much information. But if you follow the code, Krista Marie Miller is my slot. Um, I'll hook you up.
So yeah,
And
tons of
I'm going to
stuff.
be joining my community on Heartbeat app. There's a lot more coming, so just stay tuned. But KristaMarieMiller.com and Krista Marie Miller across all platforms. Please reach out to me. I love to connect with people.
Yeah, and she's excellent. And I think this whole quick little audio thing is like a thing you should do. I'm just saying
I
out
think
there,
so
like
too.
I think they're really
Yeah,
good because people don't have enough money for a full reading, nor do they have the time and attention.
I
They gotta
love that.
they gotta take it in little bites because they just don't have the time. I mean, just don't. It's really rare. It's like a rare. Even if you have a full reading, like it's an hour from me, your head fucking hurts, man, because there's just so much that comes out. These bite-sized things are a brilliant idea. It's good.
I love it. And yeah, thank you guys. If you scan the code and you book something, I had it for time slots for today, but no, by the end of the week, you'll get your 5-minute recording from me. So
There you go. If
I'm
you
just
buy it,
throwing that out there for everyone. You guys that are all here, go ahead and scan that and I'll do something for
she'll
you.
do it. She'll send you a voice note. I know she'll go over 5 minutes. She's a Virgo, and it'll be great advice that you needed to have. So thanks for coming on, Krista. We'll have you again soon. And
I
thanks
love you.
everyone for watching. We don't forget we have our Countdown 2026 webinar coming up. Make sure everyone goes to newyears.guru and pick up your tickets, and also the new SiriusJoy. Well, it's really the Sensei calendar. Basically, you can get there as well. Every important date of the entire year going to go right into your calendar. So whenever you plan the vacation or whether you're going to go out with the girls, you'll know if it's going to be an easy night or a hard night or a bad night, whatever. Don't forget. So SiriusJoy.com is where I live day to day, and SenseiChristopher.com is where I live my other life, my private life, and newyears.guru is where you can pick up tickets for this webinar. Guys, we'll be here tomorrow, okay, for the New Year's Eve show, and then we'll be off the air Thursday and Friday, okay? So plan something to do. I'm doing something for New Year's myself, but we'll see you tomorrow to kick off the new year. Until then, I love you. Live, love, be.